Hey guys, a little while ago I started this series called Adulting 101, and it was supposed to be a little mini-series, I guess, about different challenges that we face when we sort of graduate into this new stage of life, which sounds super heavy, but you guys know what I'm talking about. My first video for this turned out really well, it got really good response, and I was really happy with it, and I have a lot more ideas, like I said, so here's episode 2. But if you want to watch the first one first, here it is for you to click on, and it'll take you out to another tab, so you can come back and watch this one afterward. Today what I want to talk about is organization, mental organization, and also physical, spatial organization. Obviously this is something that applies to every part of your life, but when you transition to a new style of life, a new routine, it is extremely essential that you're able to keep organized with all of your new stuff. And I happen to be a tiny bit of an organization freak, just a little bit. So today I'm going to give you a few tips on staying organized. The first tip I have is probably one that seems fairly obvious, but it's still worth mentioning. Go through all of your stuff and get rid of stuff. This is really something that probably could come in handy just multiple regular times, like once a year or something. Go through all of your closets and all of your bookshelves and everything, and just get rid of stuff that you don't use anymore. Especially when you're going into adulthood, though. Your routines are changing, your habits are changing, you're gonna start using different stuff than you used before. You're gonna start prioritizing different objects and different clothes and everything. Everything is a little bit different when you change your routine. So this is a really good time in your life to just go through all of your stuff and just clear out stuff. The only things that are really important to you are things that you use currently or that have some sort of sentimental value. Everything else, if you don't use it, if it's not tied with some personal memory, if it's not special in some way, you don't need it. The second recommendation I have is to designate a certain time, preferably something like once a week, that you're just going to do a bit of tidying up. Things are going to get cluttered. It doesn't matter if you just went through all your stuff and got rid of stuff and organized things beautifully. It's going to get cluttered by the end of the week, especially if you're working or going to school every day. Your shoes aren't always going to make it all the way over there in the corner where they're supposed to go, and you might have notebooks all over your desk because you just don't feel like putting them back, or you just came in a rush and dropped them off. So to avoid letting this all clutter up around your room and making a big mess everywhere, just designate even something as short as 10 minutes to tidying. I like to do it on the weekend, preferably on Saturday because it's the first day of the weekend and I can get it done immediately, but whenever works best for you, I would just designate a certain regular scheduled time where this is the day that I normally tidy. The next tip I have for you is to make lists. This is something that works exceedingly well for me because I'm a list maker, and I know not everybody thinks in the same way, but I guarantee you most people are more likely to remember to do something they're supposed to do if they write it down somewhere. Memories just don't really last that long, and especially when you're busy, and there are a lot of pressures that are building up when you are making this transition, this adult transition, and there's a lot of things just going on in your mind. You can't expect yourself to remember everything, honestly. So the only real way to keep up with everything without trying to constantly pressure yourself to remember all the time is just to write it down. I like to use sticky notes a lot because you can write each individual thought or group of thoughts in a different little note, and once you're done with it, you can throw it away without messing up all your other notes. And you can also prioritize them, so the ones that are sort of important might go down like on my desk on the side, and the ones that are super important I have to like stick in the middle of my computer screen. I also keep notebooks for things, so all of my YouTube ideas for all my videos goes in a special notebook that's just my YouTube notebook. I also use in my phone the Notes app on the iPhone. I use all of these things depending on when I want to see that note, so I can put something on my phone and have it remind me that evening. So if I know it's something I have to do after work, I'll set up a note on my phone, it'll remind me when I get home from work, and then I can remember to do it. A side note on this one is that often colors can add a lot to your notes. That's another reason I really like sticky notes, even not assigning certain roles to different colors, just having the different colors around me helps me remember better. The next recommendation I have is to go out and actually buy baskets and storage containers. So for example, you've probably noticed back here behind my computer I have this little striped basket. I have another one over there on the other side of my room on top of my dresser. Each of these baskets is filled with lots of stuff. It's not really that well organized, but it's getting all that little stuff in one place. So that one's for my technology, so it has chargers for various electronics I have around here, and phone cases, and anything like that. I know I'll just throw it back there, and then I know where to sort of find it when I need it. My other one over there has hair stuff. I also have one hanging up on my dresser, and that has all of my jewelry in it, and it's two-sided, lots of little pockets for my jewelry, and it's really easy to find stuff. And I've got one hanging on the back of my door for my shoes. Tennis shoes are on the bottom, high heels in the middle, sandals on the top. It's helped me so much to get my shoes out of the way where they're organized. I just put a really nice coat hanger on my wall across my room. I've actually found that's more helpful for my scarves. It's the reason I wanted it actually the most, because I wanted my scarves a little closer where I could grab them before I left. It can be strategic, or it doesn't have to be strategic at all. It can be literally just, I want this basket to be all the junk that refers to this. It does so much to just neatening up your room, getting things organized and decluttered. And even though it's your room, things can be flexible, you can move things around. I do also recommend that you have a specific important place for essentials. The things that are most important to you with sentimental value, and even more, the things that are important for your day-to-day routine. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you have a specific place for them and make yourself form this habit, even if you don't have it at first. For example, there's a certain pair of shoes that I like to wear most days. I keep them right by my door, really nice and easy to find, not where I'll trip over them, but just where I can put them on really fast and leave. My keys have a specific place. My makeup has a specific place. My cell phone or my cell phone charger, anything that basically, if I was running late, I'd need to grab really, really fast and run out the door. This will save you so much mental stress for that day that you're running late, because I guarantee it, if you haven't had 1 or 2 or 12 already, you're gonna have 1 or 2 or 12. And the last little recommendation that I'm going to give you guys is to put just even a tiny bit of effort into designing and decorating your space. Especially if you're in a temporary apartment or dorm, or if you're not quite sure how you want to decorate your space, you can be kind of reluctant sometimes to actually commit to a decoration and put everything up. It doesn't have to be anything nearly that drastic, but I do recommend that you put up just a few personal touches. Put up some pictures of you and your friends or you and your significant other. Get stuff like my little basket back there and put it up and add a little bit of color and a little bit of you to your space. This is not as much obviously for physical organization, because it doesn't have to be something that contributes in any way to organizing your stuff, but it's just more for mental organization. I find that when I come into my room after a long day at work, the last thing I want to see is blank walls. I don't want to think about the fact that I am coming home and I want to go to sleep or whatever. I want something to make me feel alive, to feel energetic. And if I have pictures up of wonderful moments I've had with people, and if I have my postcards on my wall back here and reminding me constantly to be enthusiastic about life, honestly, even just seeing that little pop of green back there, the stripes, can help brighten my mood so much, just to see some color. Anyway, those are all the tips that I have for you guys in this video. I know there's a ton more things that you can do to organize, so if you have any more tips for me or for anyone reading the comments of this video, let me know in the comments. And also feel free to start a conversation with me about this on Twitter, Instagram, or Tumblr. All the links are down below. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and if you have an idea for the next Adulting 101 episode, make sure you let me know and I might do it. As always, I will see you in my next video. Bye. I just realized that I'm using a University of Bristol mug, so if that doesn't hark back to the days of university.